Hey there, my name is Przemek, and after another long and unplanned break, uh, I have a new review for you, this time of Cosmic Folklore album by Crooked Mouth. If I had to name a neo-folk project that has made the greatest leap in terms of development and popularity in recent years, it would probably be Crooked Mouth. Uh, Originally a Canadian project, now international or multinational one. Since 2013, the project has released quite a few albums, each showing clear progress, expanding its influences, means of expression, and stylistic diversity. A few years ago, Ian Campbell, a leader of Crooked Mouth, moved from Canada to Lithuania and invited local musicians to collaborate, forming a fully fledged multi-member band that now performs on a regular basis, especially in this part of Europe. I mean, my part of Europe, Eastern Europe. In Poland alone, they have played. I'm not sure exactly how many times, but certainly more than 5. And if I remember correctly, more shows have already been announced. I had the chance to see them live last year in Chorzów. It's a peculiar name for a city. uh, and it was quite an interesting experience because they played alongside Art Abscon and Moriah Woods for like maybe 10 or 15 people in a tiny club located in the middle of a city park, but they pulled it off brilliantly, and I enjoyed it quite a lot, just as much as I enjoyed their previous album, Between the Fool and the Magician. Their new album, Cosmic Folklore, released in March, promises an unforgettable journey through its title alone. Did they deliver? Well, let's find out. The band describes the album as follows. Cosmic Folklore, the seventh full-length album by Crooked Mouth, is a journey through the folklore and esoteric symbols of the sun, the moon, the planets, life, death, and the realm between them, as seen through the lens of the songs and traditions of old Europe, as well as the postmodern experience of seeking the new old ways. And right from the beginning, it is worth mentioning that Ian Campbell's move to the Baltic region of Europe has also influences the band's sound and atmosphere. Not in each song, but in at least a few moments, I can hear elements that bring them somewhat closer to projects from the East, like Romowe Koito, for example. Not only through the use of Slavic languages like Belarusian or Lithuanian. I'm not sure if Lithuanian is a Slavic language, but also in the arrangements themselves, organic, smooth, and possessing more elegance and grace than, say, your typical German neo-folk act. What truly sets Cosmic Folklore apart from many neo-folk projects, regardless of geography of the borders, is its diversity. Alongside the more traditional tracks driven primarily by acoustic guitar, we get for example, a genuine hit like When the Sun Married the Moon. Crooked Mouth has always had a talent for ear-catching melodies. Their previous album, Between the Fool and the Magician, contained at least a few pieces that immediately lodge themselves in your mind or your brain. Even on their earlier releases, you can find exceptionally well arranged songs, such as my personal favorite in older catalog. It's The White Ravens of Qualicum Beach. And on Cosmic Folklore we have When the Sun Married the Moon, propelled by a post-punk rhythm section of bass and drums, yet featuring acoustic guitar and keyboards that never let you forget the band's neo-folk roots. And add to that the excellent vocal performances, which are in general one of Crooked Mouth's greatest strengths, and you have a proper hit, proper that in a few years can be Crooked Mouth's evergreen. And after this one, after When the Sun Married the Moon, we have another track, Jaunas Menulis, which takes a different approach. Ritualistic mantras sung in, I think, in Lithuanian, are wrapped in analog synthesizer melodies in such a way that just like When the Sun Married the Moon feels like the marriage of post-punk and neo-folk, Jaunas Menulis is like neo-folk marries progressive cosmic rock from the 70s. And like next two pieces, Ośteka Sauluze and Oitisonca, move into folk drone territory and feature female vocals. Especially the latter appealed to me with its carefully built tension and memorable melody. And in many ways that describes the entire album, a spiritual journey in where every track represents a slightly different stage of the voyage, of the journey. Not every song resonates with me equally, and perhaps I find the second half of the album stronger or better one than the first few tracks, but that takes nothing away from either the sensitivity, versatility, or willingness to explore different musical territories demonstrated by Ian Campbell's band. And this exploration extends beyond neo-folk itself. As I mentioned earlier, you can hear the spirit of Slavic neo-folk here, but also Celtic, Celtic neo-folk, or perhaps more specifically Albion-inspired influences, alongside subtle nuances so specific of acoustic music from bands across the Atlantic. Beyond that, the group delivers exactly what they promise on their Bandcamp description: post-punk momentum, colorful and slightly acidic psychedelia, and drones that seem to be generated through traditional instruments or analog equipment rather than electronics or software. There's never a dull moment here, and that is important because, at least to me, many albums from the neo dark folk sphere, even the good ones, begin to induce a certain fatigue on their albums after, say, 30 minutes, making me want to listen to something else. Cosmic Folklore remains engaging from beginning to the very end. In fact, it gets better as it goes along. The deeper you venture into the forest, the more interesting this journey becomes. Yeah, I think there's a very bright future ahead of this band, and Cosmic Folklore is, for this moment, the last stage of their journey, but we are waiting for another one. Thanks for watching and see you soon.